Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked where I climb the online Series 12 ladder and provide live commentary as I go. In the previous episode, which I've linked down in the description below, we debuted a very fun team with Weakness Policy Lugia, as well as Bulk Up Leftovers Groudon. This team was built by two players, John and Rajan, who I've linked down in the description below, and there's a team report for this if you want to try it out and learn more about the team. So all of that is down in the description below, as well as a rental and a paste. If you want to check out the battle that the title and thumbnail are referring to, that's going to be the third game today, but as always, I encourage you to watch all the games because they're pretty exciting. So yeah, we'll just be playing a couple more matches with the Lugia team today. Thank you so much as always for watching. If you enjoy, please show your support by leaving a like. I'd really appreciate it. And question of the day, kind of in continuing with yesterday's question, I'm curious if you could give Lugia one extra move, or one move that it doesn't have in its move pool right now, what would that be and why? Let me know down in the comment section below, and let's get started. Alright, getting into things here, and it looks like the Yveltal Groudon team that we actually featured on the channel a couple weeks back. This was one of my favorite teams from Series 12 because of the amount of flexibility that it has between all the restricteds. So, pretty cool to see. Lugia definitely doesn't have the best matchup into Yveltal. We played against Yveltal Kyogre yesterday, actually. But I think it's not necessarily terrible. One interesting thing here is bringing Grimmsnarl for Trick, because I can Trick onto Venusaur, which I actually find really valuable. I could bring my own Venusaur. Like, I think I like Groudon, Incin, Grim, Lugia. I am intrigued by the idea of Yveltal over Incineroar, though, because I don't know if I really need to Intimidate that badly in a Groudon. Yveltal gives me a much better late-game damage option into Yveltal. But to start, I think I'm actually down for just Grimmsnarl and Lugia, Groudon in the back, and then it's basically between Incineroar and Yveltal as the fourth. I mean, the Shuka plus the Intimidate here is so valuable into Groudon. My only fear is that it's a Yveltal that I should be a lot more concerned about. Yveltal is really useless against most things other than Yveltal, though. I think I'm still gonna... I guess I'll bring Incin here. I mean, it has more utility against everything else, and Flare Blitz and Sun into Yveltal is also really powerful. Just playing around Yveltal, it's going to be the tricky part here. Because I think that is one of the better restricteds into the Groudon plus Lugia core. So we'll see. Bulk Up Groudon can be really cool in this one. It's going to be Yveltal and Yveltal here. So, like, turn 1, I could actually, like, Trick onto Yveltal, give it Iron Ball, Dynamax Lugia, and just Max Quake immediately. I think that's actually really interesting. Their play, though, like, you could just Max Airstream right now. Like, I don't think you should click Max Darkness into Lugia because it would just activate my Weakness Policy. So then an Airstream into Grimmsnarl would make a lot of sense, right? But I'm okay if you end up Airstreaming Grimmsnarl, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, I'm down to Trick onto Yveltal, Dynamax, and Quake here. I think Yveltal could just Protect, right? You could also switch it out. The third option was actually, which I didn't even mention, was Yveltal Dynamaxing, but I didn't think that was super likely here. Would be pretty cool, though. I mean, you could, like, potentially Dynamax, Max Lightning, eliminate Grimmsnarl, for example. But the idea here is to try to KO Yveltal before it can move, get a special defense boost along the way, and deny it from, yeah, getting Disruption into me. Cool. They don't max Yveltal, which I'm fine with, although I think that's a smart decision. One of the scary things about this team is, like, if you just don't get enough in the early game. And if you don't get enough in the early game, like, the end game can be a little bit scary, because then if they conserve their Dynamax, that can cause some pretty big issues. But Trick Iron Ball is a fun way of speed control while also stealing an item away. So that ends up being a really solid turn for us. Eliminating Yveltal is always good, given just how the teams match up here. They went for foul play. Okay. Thank you. That's a very pleasant surprise. That is a very pleasant surprise. Because it just gives me a free boost now. Now, the future foul plays will do a little bit more damage, but still, like, that's incredible. Venusaur comes out now. So, like, your play here is honestly to switch Yveltal into Groudon and just Sleep Powder into Lugia. So I could just Thunder Wave Venusaur here. Thunder Wave. Was Sash on the Venu here? I mean, it wasn't on... I almost want to... Spirit Break into Venusaur, because I think they're going to go for the Sleep Powder play onto Lugia. So, like, Spirit Break into Venu, Max Guard here. Oh, they didn't make the switch. That's interesting. Okay. I'm fine with that, I guess. Basically, the one thing I wanted to avoid here was getting put to sleep. Okay, and they max Venusaur. That works for me, I guess. Although it's like... I mean, the next turn, I'd probably want to Trick and Hailstorm into it, I think. Okay, so we max guard. They foul play again. That's fine. Probably Vine Lash into Grim now. Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't go for the switch, but this play ends up working out pretty nicely for them, actually. So, well done. Okay, Spirit Break actually does somewhat meaningful damage, to be honest. Oof, okay, now my other question is whether or not I can KO Yveltal easily. Well, you can't Thunder Wave me at this point. Sorry, not Thunder Wave. You can't, Sleep Powder me, which is really important. Also, Life Orb Spirit Break kind of slaps on Yveltal here. But they're just going to Vine Lash Grim, no? I think I'm down to just Thunder Wave Venusaur here. And Hailstorm into Yveltal. Okay, they max guard. Yep, that makes sense. The only question is whether or not +2 Hailstorm actually would knock out an Assault Vest Yveltal. To be honest, I actually think the answer is no, but... Maybe I should give you some more credit here. Yeah, it was close, though. It was really close. I could have actually gone for Sucker Punch, double up into the Yveltal slot there, but I don't regret that play too much. And they're going to Oblivion Wing. Okay, that's fine. Nice. Does not KO me, although I guess I faint from Vine Lash anyway here. I have my own Groudon in the back. I definitely should not bring that out yet, though. I think the correct answer is to just go out into Incineroar, right? Yeah, Incineroar is fine. I just feel a little bit bad that I read into the Max Guard, or sorry, the Sleep Powder play on Venusaur, but to be honest, I think that was a very likely play, so I don't regret trying to play around that. This turn, though, would have been fun to have doubled up onto Yveltal, because then I could just Thunder Wave Venu the next turn and Aeroblast it, right? But still fine. We can bring an Incin now. Part of my question here is, like, do you switch out into Groudon? You could. Even with Sucker Punch here, with Multi-Skill and Intimidate, you're not KOing Lugia, that's for sure. And you're at -1 with Venu. I'm honestly down to just Flare Blitz Venusaur here and Blizzard, I think. I think they should switch Yveltal out, actually, into Groudon right now. So you know what? I actually want a Parting Shot here into the potential Groudon, and then Aeroblast into Venusaur. Yep, there's the switch. Oh, that's why they didn't switch into Groudon. They don't have it. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Then I don't feel bad making that read, right? Because it's like, I'm really shocked they didn't have Groudon in the back here. Nice. Aeroblast just one-shots. That's beautiful. Okay. Well done, Lugia. Parting Shot into Incin now, which is really valuable. I'm still taking a little bit of Vine Lash damage, but at this point it's fine. Like, I have late game Groudon. I just have so much damage pressure relative to my opponent. I think, I mean, the game started off really well for us, right? I got a free knockout onto Yveltal, which... It was interesting that my opponent ended up wanting to max Venusaur into a matchup with Lugia, but it makes sense given the Groudon that I have. So, being able to eliminate Venusaur before Groudon hit the field was really important. So, that's it for Vine Lash now. We know it's Assault Vest on the Yveltal as well. I think this next turn, like... What do I want to do? I think I'm okay with just attacking here, honestly. Because Yveltal's such low HP. Well, like, if I were my opponent, I would fake out Lugia here and then Oblivion Wing into Groudon, personally. Actually, there's still one turn of Vine Lash. You know what, let's just switch out into Incineroar here and Protect. Because then I can just fake out Yveltal, even if you Oblivion Wing the Incin. Like, I can just fake out Yveltal and Oblivion Wing it, or double up onto Incin. If I stayed in with Groudon here, I mean, the other consideration, I just don't want Groudon to, like, eat up an Oblivion Wing. And then Yveltal. I don't remember if the original set had Sucker Punch. I think it did, though. And, like, with this, Fake Out plus Oblivion Wing is really safe into Yveltal the next turn. In fact, I don't even need I could Flare Blitz it as well. That actually may be a little better. Because Flare Blitz and Sun should just demolish Yveltal. And Groudon's obviously going to win the endgame against Incineroar. So, I think this game highlighted the value of that early trick because we essentially had a huge lead in this game, right? Like, I got a knockout and my opponent activated Policy for me, both of which were amazing. Okay, so there's Protect. Fake out into Lugia, yep. My opponent might also just go for a Desperation double up onto Lugia here. Snarl, okay, interesting. I feel like Snarl's never the right answer there, because it just... Oh, I guess after Vine Lash, maybe. But now I can just fake out plus Aeroblast. The only downside is that Aeroblast is 95%, which is like the worst accuracy in the game because when it does miss, it's so heartbreaking. But like, I can't go for anything else. I get Blizzard, but no way I'm clicking Blizzard with the sun up. Blizzard's just like, you never really want to go for it unless you just have to, right? But here, like, I have a better option. And we hit. Beautiful. Okay, goodbye Yveltal. Now they just Flare Blitz. Yep. I wonder if this even KOs. It probably does. Oh, it was close. But no, after 2 Intimidates, or Intimidate and Parting Shot, it's not enough. Cool. Okay. Now I can just... we don't even need to go for that, honestly. Flare Blitz and Earth Power should get the KO here, unless they're Shuka. Even if you're Shuka, that might still KO, to be honest. But it's not, yeah. Is that KO by itself? Nope. This is the downside of... you can see Lugia, right? That was a +2 Earth Power. It still wasn't enough to knock out an Incineroar without a Shuka Berry. But I'll take it, right? Lugia was so important for us in the early game. The main problem for my opponent in this one is that they just activated my Policy for me. But they didn't have a great way of playing around it, to be honest. Other than maybe Dynamaxing... It could have been interesting to like Dynamax Yveltal and then attack around the Lugia, but... And then like save it for your... like save a really powerful attack for your last turn of Dynamax. But yeah, that's basically the extent of it. I think also on turn 1, if the Regieleki just switches out into Incin to bait my trick, or even protects, then it's a completely different game, because then you can play towards late game Dynamax Regieleki, because that's your best offense into Lugia in this one. But the fact that we essentially got rid of one of the biggest threats with no consequence whatsoever, and got the Policy activated, was like the dream scenario for Lugia here. So yeah, let's look for another. Alright, next match here, and this is a cool team. Kyogre Solgaleo with Venu, Porygon, Torkoal, and Tornadus. I feel like if you play Solgaleo for Zacian, it's pretty standard. Not standard, but we've seen dual weather teams pop up a decent amount recently. So like the best answer into Solgaleo often is actually just Trick, because if you can't get Policy off, it's a lot less scary. This one's interesting though. I don't love this matchup. Because Lugia is not that strong. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's actually quite good into everything that's not Solgaleo, especially with the +2 Airstream. I think I like the idea of Grim and Lugia here. I feel like the Trick Iron Ball combo is just so strong. Because like I could trick it onto Venusaur, steal away a Koba or a Sash. I can trick it onto Solgaleo, steal away a Policy, for example. So I definitely want Grim Lugia. I want Groudon. I don't think Incin contributes anything in this matchup. Intimidate just doesn't help at all, so we don't bring that. So then it would be between Venu and Aleki. Venu would be helpful for just kind of a sleep powder, but given the lack of electric like resistances other than Venusaur on my opponent's team, I like Aleki here. Okay, so let's see. What lead do I want to see from my opponent here? Like, I guess my concern in bringing Grimmsnarl is how much value do I actually get out of it? Because it's very likely it just goes down on turn 1 after a single hit. And that's not necessarily bad if it's like tricking an Iron Ball into the Solgaleo. But then my opponent can, I don't know, Tailwind anyway. And then where do I go on turn 2? I guess bring out Groudon, maybe bulk up. But then they have Kyogre, which is scary. It is going to be Tornadus and Kyogre from there. Okay. I am okay with this. I mean, to be honest, like, what are you going to do if you're my opponent turn 1? Just Tailwind and Water Spout, maybe? So, like, I get Thunder Wave here into Kyogre. I almost don't want to Dynamax here, which is frustrating. If I were my opponent, like, I would just Tailwind Water Spout. Which is why, like, I'm thinking Thunder Wave, drop your speed immediately so that Lugia is still faster, and then just Aeroblast. Because I actually think Groudon can be a really good max option if we eliminate Kyogre here. But that's the one downside of going for... Oh, they Hurricane, though. Interesting. Okay. That's a really frustrating miss, though, because... And I get crit. Oh, gosh. Confusion. Oh. The reason I didn't go for a Trick there was because I wanted to conserve it for Solgaleo potentially in the back, but now I just get punished really heavily, right? So that turn was really interesting because it's like, is the 10% trade-off in accuracy worth it? I still think so. I guess the thing, though, is how is Grimmsnarl ever surviving to a point where I actually managed to get Thunder Wave and Trick off, right? Probably isn't. So, maybe that was just a bad play. It's just funny to see the amount of RNG there in one turn. T-Wave miss into crit into Confusion, but none of it actually mattered other than the T-Wave miss. Like, them getting lucky actually with the Tornadus didn't mean anything because Kyogre was always just going to KO me anyway. So what do we expect in the back, actually? Solgaleo plus Torkoal? No, Solgaleo plus Venusaur, right? I feel like I have to Dynamax Groudon here, but like they can just Tailwind now and Origin Pulse again, and then I just take so much damage. Ugh, this is a nightmare. I just went for Electro Web Aeroblast. I don't know. I think the right decision there... Oh, they protect. Okay. Oh, maybe that's okay then. Interesting. Tornadus is really staggering their Tailwind, which is a little bit frustrating here, because if I actually launched Aeroblast into Tornadus, they just don't get Tailwind up, which I think is really greedy for them, but it ends up paying off. Okay. Now they Hurricane. Yeah, and now you can just Tailwind into me. It gets another Confusion. Oh. Yeah, that was a greedy play, but it's a potentially game-winning one, honestly. You just Tailwind Origin Pulse right now, right? Oh, yeah, this is not good. I shouldn't have risked the T-Wave miss. I should have just gone for the Trick. So, that's what I get for not thinking so hard about the trade-off in accuracy and getting a little bit greedy there. This game is just so much harder because the Yveltal also got confused. If I hit myself in Confusion here, I'm just doomed. But I'm going for the Dynamax here because I think I just lose the game immediately if I don't. Because I'll just have lost too many resources, right? So the idea here is protect Yveltal, give it a speed boost, and then go from there. Because then with the speed boost, I can outspeed both of my opponent's Pokemon, even post-Tailwind. But the problem is now Yveltal has to attack through Confusion multiple times. Tornadus protects this time around. Wow, this is definitely a game. Kyogre doesn't max. Yep, okay. This is honestly one of the games you just laugh it off because like everything that goes wrong has gone wrong, right? T-Wave miss. Once again, the Tornadus stuff on the Grim doesn't matter, but it's like mental damage, right? You're just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. They give me Origin Pulse here though. That's the wrong one. Okay. I don't think I win now, but I do think that was the correct play to make. Because if we like. It's been greedy for my opponent to never click Tailwind, but so the reality there is, if I don't get parried there, then the next turn I can just Aeroblast into Electro Web, right? And pick up a double KO. Maybe you protect Kyogre, but then suddenly Leki's at +2 speed, as is Lugia. So then I actually outspeed what you have in the back as well. But it's not great when you miss Thunder Wave and then also get confused into full confusion. Or just regular confusion, I guess. Can we still win this game, though? Let's not give up. +1 speed. I think here Kyogre protects, so like maybe we can still do something with Bulk Up Groudon in this end game. Bulk Up Groudon, I'm going to give Tornadus KO Tornadus here with an Airstream. The big question is what they have in the back, because let's say they don't have... Okay, they didn't protect Kyogre. Wait, they didn't Tailwind either. I'm so confused. But I guess maybe they don't feel like they need it? Maybe they don't even have Tailwind, and that would be the, like, mega big brain bait? Huh. Okay. I could have gone for Precipice Blades there. The reason I didn't was because I felt like I was so far behind, and, like, Protect Tailwind was their obvious play that I, like, wanted to go for a boost. It's just Ice Beam. How much does this do? Oh, that is so much damage. But here's what's interesting. Let's say your last one is Venusaur right now. I can protect the Groudon. I guess I take too much damage through Protect with Vine Lash anyway. Yeah, I'm probably done for now. But like I said, this is one of those games you laugh off. I could have played a little bit more optimally by going for the Trick Iron Ball immediately into Kyogre. It's Porygon 2 coming out though, huh? So they didn't bring Venusaur. Solgaleo is likely their 4th. You got a special attack boost. It's download, +2 speed, +1 speed, +1 attack defense. Like, I want to go for the Rock Slide flinch right now, honestly. Max Quake to get a special defense boost as well. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. Nah, Kyogre does protect. I was thinking about reading into it there, but I don't think Max Quick does that much to Porygon anyway. I mean, if we get the flinch here, then things get a little bit more interesting, because then the next turn I can go for Precipice Blades and Aeroblast into the Porygon slot. I also could have... I don't know. I wonder if it was worth just going for damage on... Like, the thing is, I'm never KOing Porygon with just Precipice Blades and Aeroblast this time. And that didn't even KO us, so actually Precipice Blades... The thing is, like, I have to cover for them Trick Rooming there, so I don't really regret going for the Rock Slide. Honestly, just having, like, getting the damage off there would have been pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm still gonna go for the flinch, because we were assuming the last one is Solgaleo on their end, right? Yeah. But like I said, this is one of the games where if we lose, you just laugh it off, because so much went wrong for us here. And there was so much that could have gone right for us. Ugh, that was actually really good damage into Porygon. Yeah, oh, that was a crit. Okay, so it makes up for maybe the miss. I care more about getting a flinch here, though. Okay, now we're in business. It's still probably pretty hard to win with Solgaleo being their final one, especially if it's Policy Solgaleo. I mean, it has to be Soga as the 4th, yeah. But, like... I'm just going to Precipice Blades here. And Aeroblast onto Porygon. The problem here is I still can't really KO... Like, they haven't Dynamax yet, right? So now you just max Solgaleo. What would be interesting is if for some reason you didn't target Groudon, though. So, yeah. If I were to replay this game, turn 1, I would just trick the Iron Ball to get the guaranteed speed control into Kyogre. That's better for me immediately. Don't think I'd Dynamax the Lugia on turn 1. Then we can bring out Groudon or Regieleki. And then I could have Protective to Lecky, or the turn Kyogre protected and Tornadus didn't tail one. I could have doubled up on a Tornadus as well. Okay. Well, like... The path to winning is still really narrow because I'm so far behind after that early game, but it does exist. Okay, Aeroblast doesn't miss, but this is such pitiful damage, as you're going to see. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't call that pitiful. It was actually decent. Oh, so close. So close. If we had hit that Rock Slide earlier, because like 2 Rock Slides would do a little bit more than Rock Slide, 1 crit Rock Slide, right? So it would have been enough to just KO Porygon there. But I think I likely would have still lost the endgame here because Lugia wasn't really beating Solgaleo anyway. And like I was always going to activate their policy. So yeah, it was a tough endgame to win. But like I said, this is one of the games where like everything that went wrong essentially went wrong until it was too late. Yeah. What was interesting was my opponent's like hesitance to set up Tailwind, but now I understand because they had Porygon and Solgaleo in the backs, and so they were like, well, if I set up Tailwind, I can't really trick them very easily, right? And that makes it a little bit more awkward for them. So totally get that. The other thing I could have considered was the turn I clicked Bulk Up, I could have just gone for Precipice Blades. But the thing is, okay, yeah, that gets a double KO, but then they just bring out Porygon Solgaleo, protect Solgaleo, Trick Room, and I just lose the game from there. And that doesn't feel super worth it to me. So, cool restricted duo here. And one of the problems I listed going into this was not getting much value out of Grim, and I actually got 0 value out of it. So that's something I could consider replacing or having in the back instead. I like the idea of Grim in case they lead Solgaleo, but my opponent did a nice job with the leads there. So, yeah. A lot of different ways I could have played a little bit better there, and of course there was a lot that went wrong for us. So, like I said, sometimes when you have these games, like it happens, right? It's Pokemon. You're gonna get unlucky. You're gonna get lucky. It's easier to remember the games where you get unlucky because you know those are the ones you get more tilted by. But you know, I've had plenty of good luck as well, even just within the last few episodes, right? And so, yeah, you just gotta shake it off, laugh it off a little bit because at the end of the day, you know, it happens to you sometimes. So, yeah, let's look for a third. Okay, final match here, and what the heck? Oh my gosh. Mawile. Heliolisk? Archeops? I almost said Umbreon. Dialga Calyrex. I just, whoa. Matches like this are always the scariest because I just don't really know what to expect from any of my opponent's non-restricted Pokemon. Like, at all. Huh. Okay. Bulk Up Groudon is actually really solid here. I mean, Lugia feels pretty weak here, honestly. I really want to play towards Bulk Up Groudon, I think. I might just go Groudon Venu here, honestly. Incin. I'll still bring Lugia. Like, it could be a Dynamax option if we eat a Glacial Lance too. Like, I could do a lot of damage with it with Policy, but I think Groudon should be the best max option here into both the Calyrex and the Dialga. But, like, I just don't know what to expect from this team at all. So we'll see. It's a very cool team. Very cool team. It's Dialga. Gosh. I feel like the last time I've really seen that Pokemon is like VGC 2011. Like, I want to Sleep Powder into Dialga here and just bulk up and then just max Groudon and Quake. That's what I want to do. The problem is if I miss and then, I don't know, they just Hailstorm into Groudon or max Wormwind it. But I feel like this Sleep Powder... the other place to just help me hand max Quake Dialga, I suppose. But like, if I hit this Sleep Powder, I actually feel like I'm in such a game-winning position that I'm willing to go for this. Alright, there's a Dynamax. I don't know who's maxing. You would think it's Dialga, right? But... I don't know what the bird is going to do here. Like, at all. It could be Tailwind? Does he even get Tailwind? I don't know. I really don't know. But Dialga, at least, is a known quantity. I want to deny that. Oh, that's cheeky. That is cheeky. You one-shot Groudon here? I'm faster as well. That's interesting. If Groudon doesn't get KO'd here, I actually think I still win the game, to be honest. But, like, maybe they Hailstorm? I don't know if Steel Spike KOs me here. Oh, they targeted Venusaur. That was a one-shot. Fine by me, though. Fine by me, I think. I mean, I got a bulk up, which is awesome. Are you Life Orb? Yes, okay. All things considered, that turn could have played out a lot worse, in my opinion, so we take it. Like, let's just bring out Lugia now, no? And with Lugia, why don't we just go for Dynamax Groudon, Max Quake into Dialga, and Earth Power into Dialga? I guess my only question is that KO? I don't know. If it does KO, though, then Groudon should just sweep the rest of my opponent's team from this point on. Oh, I should have guessed Ally Switch, though. Ooh, it's Mawile coming in for Intimidate, I think. It's Heliolisk, okay. I'll take that. Because, like, my opponent's Pokemon are just so frail, right? After... I mean, you have Calyrex in the back, I suppose, but... The fact that Groudon's faster than Dialga here is a really big deal. Ally Switch is one of those moves, though, where, like, I feel like every Pokemon just randomly gets it. Oh, that's a great max guard. Okay. I'm fine with it, though, because I have an extra turn of Dynamax relative to my opponent right now. Get dry-skinned. I just wonder if they consider switching Dialga out. But, like, what's Heliolisk really going to do here? I don't know. I'll just feel a little bit silly if they switch out here, but... Yeah, for that reason, you know what? I'm actually down to Max Quake here into Heliolisk and Protect. I feel like it's relatively low risk. Yeah, they don't switch, though. That's still fine. Okay. Breaking Swipe. Very cool. For 5 damage total. We are about to dunk on Heliolisk here. Goodbye. That'd be might be one of the most like overkill moves that you've seen. So I've got a defense boost, a special defense boost, but I'm at just neutral attack now, and Dialga can max Wormwind to decrease my attack as well. But I have a special defense boost, and they actually go for Steel Spike for a defense boost onto itself. Okay. That's fine. You don't really do that much damage to me, and I have leftovers. I am really learning the move pool of some unconventional Pokemon here, though, which is very funny. What's interesting now is you can go out in a Calyrex Ice Rider, no? And you can set up Trick Room with either of your Pokemon. Now, the main thing I don't know is whether or not you have weakness policy on Calyrex. That's kind of scary. I could always switch Lugia out into Incineroar. Just Max Quake, Dialga, then Flare Blitz, or Fake Out Precipice Blades. That feels pretty strong. This is just a bizarre game, though. I think you have to go into Calyrex here. And if you go into Archeops, that's fine by me, because you're just wasting a turn with it, because it has to take a turn to sleep. Yep. Calyrex is out. Okay. The other play I could make is like Max Rockfall, Aeroblast, double up onto Calyrex, but I don't even think that KOs, to be honest. And I really don't want to activate a weakness policy on it. So, like, I'm pretty down to just Max Quake here into Dialga and then just switch Lugia out into Incineroar for a quick Intimidate. Trick Room going up here is not the end of the world for me, honestly, because I'll have I have Lefty's Groudon with the defense boost right now as well. Then I could, like, fake out Bulk Up the next turn, for example. I think Dialga protecting here certainly makes sense. That's fine by me. I guess Calyrex doesn't necessarily have to click Trick Room. It could just Glacial Lands, but I think that's okay. Calyrex protects. That is very good for us. Especially because they're not White Herb on it either, so now you're already at -1 attack. This isn't going to KO, right? It's really solid damage, though. Considering that they're at, what, +2 defense now? So I get another special defense boost, which is valuable. They Trick Room with Dialga. Cool. Makes sense. I mean, I could have gone for Earth Power double up into that slot, but I think the instant switching is always just so safe for me there that I'm going to take it every time. The play they should make right now, by the way, is actually switching Calyrex out into Is that Archeops or Archeops? I thought it was Archeops. It's been so long, I honestly forgot how to pronounce that Pokemon's name. Yeah, so I'm interested in going for Protect here. And then Parting Shot into Calyrex. Because if you stay in with Calyrex, that's fine. You don't really do much with it, right? And if you switch out, then you have a useless Pokemon out on the field. And I'm burning a turn of your Trick Room right now. Yep, there's a switch. Cool, cool, cool. And the idea is to just put myself in a position where I can get another Intimidate off later on. Okay. Really cool team, though. I mean, like, I just didn't know what either Pokemon was really going to do here. And the moves that they use, I also, even having fought against these Pokemon in different generations and different games, those were not moves I would have ever expected here. And they Earth Power, beautiful, into Lugia. Sunlight fades, that's fine, we don't really need it right now. Honestly, I think this is a position to just get more bulk ups off with Groudon, to be honest. I guess the only downside is that Dialga could crit me right now. But, like, the bulk up is just so valuable in dealing with Calyrex, and we have leftovers, too. Normally, I wouldn't recommend clicking Blizzard, but here I actually think it's fine, because I actually don't care if I miss. And I don't want to KO Dialga with Earth Power. Okay, they actually hard switch. I like that play. I think that's good. I think that's smart. The only thing I'm risking right now is essentially critical hits, right? Because this next turn I can just pivot Lugia onto Incin and click Precipice Blades. They actually protect with Dialga. So it's Protect and Trick Room. Interesting. Well, thanks for the free bulk up. I'll take it. I can see what they were going for there, though. I think maybe they were baiting me into activating a weakness policy on Calyrex with, like, a rock type attack, which would make a lot of sense. But I'm glad to get a game where, like, bulk up Groudon just kind of goes all in. Because it's been amazing for us here, honestly. Okay, how many turns of Trick Room do we have left? 2. Like, I should play around crits right now, right? Like, I think it's right to just protect Groudon and switch out into Incin. They could make the crazy sick play of, like, clicking Trick Room with both Pokemon, but, like, I can still win this game with Trick Room being up, right? It would just mean needing to avoid critical hits. With this, then, like, crits aren't even as scary, because then I can just fake out Precipice Blades next turn. And, like, Leftovers Groudon here is super, super good for us. So, very glad to feature a game where bulk up Groudon goes all in. Okay, they make the read. They do get the Incin in. Nice read! Very nice play. Wait, hold on. Does that give my opponent the chance to win the game now? I don't think so, but that was a sick play. The reason why I still think it's fine is because I have these boosts on Groudon, but, like, nicely done. I mean, they double ground type attacked into a Lugia, right? The Lugia switch out was fairly obvious there, but if I had just, like, stayed in and attacked with both Pokemon there, the game's immediately over. But that's a great example of a, hey, I'm so far behind, I need to just make a big play right now kind of deal. But I'm fine just clicking Precipice Blades right now. And I'm going to click Blizzard because it covers for the switch in. I think Calyrex should switch out here, but they don't. Okay, so they're just going for the crit with Glacial Lance at this point, I think. Which is fair. But Groudon's so boosted right now. Nice, we take that. They just activated Policy on Lugia as well. Cool. Okay, we can still miss Blades, though, which is the scary thing. And it's just Flash Cannon, no problem. No crit, beautiful. Okay, Precipice Blades does not miss. Excellent. The game is still possible. Like, it's still possible for us to lose with a miss, though, which is really scary. And I could have clicked Aeroblast there, but I figured there was a decent chance they would consider switching out Calyrex there, so I don't mind covering for it with the Blizzard. Although, I guess, like, I feel like Sash on the Archeops honestly makes some sense. So now I can just Rock Slide, Aeroblast, get rid of the bird. Rock Slide should just pick up a double KO here. So I need to basically not miss Rock Slide. I could also consider just targeting Calyrex here. But Glacial Lance shouldn't even KO Lugia, to be honest, so let's just get the guaranteed knockout. Okay, they just end up forfeiting. I think they could have maybe played it for one more turn, because, like, I actually am still dealing with inaccurate attacks, but that was one of the most interesting games we've had. in quite a while, just because of the team that we went up against. But ended up working out fine, especially because Groudon was faster than Dialga. So yeah, Bulk Up really the MVP here, allowing us to stack boosts up against Calyrex-I Strider and not have to worry about it as much. So I honestly really had a blast with this Lugia team, and it is one of the like best Lugia teams, if not the best Lugia team that I've tried out. And really just the best Lugia team I've seen in the format so far, right? Like, I feel like for the most part, most of the Lugia teams I've seen are like kind of fun. This one is fun, but also like, you know, was built to try to do as well as possible in real life tournament, and, you know, almost made the top 16 of a regionals. So yeah, thank you to John for once again sharing the team, and of course his team building partner Rajan as well for building this team and then sharing it. I really had a blast. So yeah, check it out in the description below. Don't forget to answer the question of the day, leave a like, and I'll see you all next time. All right, peace.